Hello there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yaritza and I am a pre-K teacher in Texas. And this vlog is going to mark the beginning of the 2025-2026 school year. It will be my 10th year of teaching, so that's pretty crazy. And I am here at school today. I was not planning on being here today. I was not planning on coming in early to set up my classroom, but we got the back to school email from the principal on Monday evening, and she noted that we are just not going to have a lot of time for classroom setup during the teacher pre-service, which today is Wednesday and our pre-service starts on Friday. We come back on a Friday, y'all. But anyway, so I do not want to be stressing about having my classroom set up the way I wanted to. So I decided, since I have the time, that I will come in today. So here I am, and I dropped off my son this morning, and his little preschool is like 10-15 minutes away. So it made sense to come in. I literally have the time for it, so I'm just gonna do it, even though I don't want to. And it should be a pretty easy setup, actually, because at the end of last school year, which was like the first week in the first week in June is when we ended the school year. And it was the first time that they did not make me take down all of my things on the wall. Every single year they have made me take down the things on my wall, like despite me staying in the same classroom. This is the first time that my admin was like, no, it's fine if you keep your stuff on the walls. So that, first of all, saved a lot of time in cleaning up the classroom at the end of the year. And now it's going to be, I think, even a quicker classroom setup. So everything on my walls is ready to go. It's really just putting my furniture in place, which I was actually expecting to see cars here this morning as I pulled in, but there's literally only one car here. Right there. And although this is like the front of the school parking lot, it's not like the teacher parking lot, but the teacher parking lot is completely empty. So I'm not sure who is here today. I mean, obviously somebody from the office, but I don't recognize the car. So it might be like a new office staff member. Because I don't see a lot of people here, I might not be able to put my furniture. Obviously I can't drag that furniture by myself, and I don't want to ruin the beautiful floors. So that in mind, I know that I probably will focus on finally putting or organizing these colored bins that I have. So I'll show you guys in a minute. So I think that's going to be my focus, honestly, is organizing all of those bins and then deciding how to do the labels for them. And I think maybe I only have one closet in there. So maybe reorganizing that closet. I think I need to take some stuff home because that's been like my dumping ground for my binders, which my binder system worked really well when I was in kindergarten because we did a lot of worksheets when I taught kinder, and I still kept all of my like skill-based folders like CVC words, CVCE words, beginning sounds. So I think I need to go through those binders and just take some home just to make some space because it could be nicer. That closet could be nicer. And I think I'm probably going to be here all day. And by that, I mean going to stick around because my son gets off at 3:30. So I'll probably leave here at like 3 because I need to get gas. I'm just going to do that on my way to picking him up. So anyway, like 3 is my cutoff time, but also I have an online virtual meeting with a nutritionist. This service is something that's free through our health insurance. So that's been cool. This will be like our 3rd meeting. And I think the most helpful thing for me has just been like the accountability of trying to get some structure into like meal planning. Oh my gosh, we'll talk about that later so I don't start rambling about that. But anyway, at 2, I have that appointment, and It's an hour long typically, so at 2 will be like my cutoff to stop doing classroom stuff. That's what's going on. And I'm going to grab my bag and let's go inside and just get started. Alright, so this is how they put all my furniture. This is not at all how it goes, but that's fine because obviously they don't know how my furniture goes. But I'm not gonna worry about it. But this is bothering me because this does not go here. This goes over there. It's gonna get in the way of my setup over here for sure. I was going to set up my fridge for sure because that I can carry without dragging, and my microwave. But I guess I cannot do that because it literally goes right here. So that means I'm gonna have to ask our custodial staff to move this back over there. Okay, well that's a problem for Friday maybe. Okay, let me show you guys what I do want to organize. These bins, organize these. I am going to put all of that stuff on the floor. I don't know. And we're just gonna organize like that. Let's see how that works out for me. It's all laid out right here. So I think that will make it easier. And there's still things in here that I need to like put together. Like I know where that goes. It goes right here. Maybe I need to just clip that together. Just random little things over here. Okay, but you know what? Before I get started, I am going to eat my breakfast sandwich. So I am starting to get hungry and finish my coffee. You know what? Let me wipe down this table, but I need gloves and I need my wipes, where did I leave those wipes? All right, y'all, that was a way longer break than I intended. That was like over an hour long because one of my pre-K partners ended up coming in. I didn't know she was going to come in. So we were catching up for a while. And we were also discussing how we are going to incorporate a space theme because our admin said we're going to have like a school-wide space theme. They did ask us to incorporate the theme into our classroom. So we were brainstorming how to do that because I'm not about to switch up all of my decor. That's not going to happen. So I'm thinking I will just do a couple of bulletin boards with that theme, and I'm only going to buy border for it. Anyway, okay, let's get started on organizing all of this because this is my 3rd year in this classroom, guys, and every year I've been like, okay, I'm gonna reorganize these bins. Today, it's happening. been about 40 minutes, and I think I'm fine with how everything ended up getting organized. So let me show y'all. This first box is kind of free play with blocks. It has different types of blocks with things printed on them, like curtains and windows, so they can create a house. And then it has basically little people, and I'm pretty sure this is all Lakeshore. Most of this stuff is going to be Lakeshore, and this is going to be like a miscellaneous math counters slash, I think there's like attribute blocks in there. These are math manipulatives that involve lacing. These are just random math manipulatives like linking chains and pattern blocks. Then I have geoboards. That's what they're called, right, you guys? I have not used these in so long. Geoboards. This box has all of my light table manipulatives. This box became the kind of science things. There's a couple of centers. I did pull out the weather and seasons during our third theme. And the science viewers over here, I pulled them out for our animal theme. But my students definitely, like, they were not gentle with these. So I still have them, but some of them are really torn up. So I need to remember to pull out the 5 senses when it's time for that. And we've never used this, but I'm gonna keep it in here. This is supposed to be kind of for sensory play, like for sand and things, but yeah, we haven't used that. This box became, this is kind of fine motor stuff. I have a lot of tweezers, and then these are letters that you put pegs inside the letters. This, I don't know where the original box went, but this is like a sensory theme where they match the letters. Then these are alphabet blocks. This box became kind of like the writing type of things. I have some brand new magic boards that I haven't used. I have this box of magnetic letters with some activity pages that are ready to go where they match letters, and just like some other things to write with. And then this is the Play-Doh box, which this is like the extra small Play-Doh. I was supposed to put that in the kids' bags at the end of the school year, but maybe I'll do it for this group as like a, just a little welcome gift. I've actually never done that. And yeah, there's Play-Doh manipulatives and stamps and mats in here. And this box is going to be the miscellaneous box, so I haven't thrown anything in there yet. And in that box I have uppercase and lowercase letters. So I do want to put all of these boxes back, and I just want the bins in here in this area, and I'm going to put the boxes up here, make some space somewhere. So that's the plan as of now. I do have some things that are just randomly out. I probably will try to use this right now at the beginning of the school year because these kids cannot walk in a line. I think it's 2 of those. Then I just have random things on the floor that I need to find a spot for. I have no idea what happened to those alphabet picture magnets. Like, I know exactly what they look like, but I don't know where they are. And oh, look, it's right here. So what box is this? Did I just put it? I think I just put them back in the wrong box. I don't know what was in this container before. So I'm just going to move those back into the container that they belong to. And then I'll have some empty containers because I have the manipulatives already in the bins, which my center bins are clear like this, and so that one needs to go back. My bin stuff is over there covered up with the red butcher paper, but okay. And then this became my miscellaneous item table. I think I just need to take this home. I used this as a data tracker in Kinder, and you know, it's all beautiful and it took a lot of time to put together, but I just don't use it. And I have a lot of light table manipulatives and a lot of extras, so I'm going to see if another pre-K teacher needs some more light table letters and numbers. And I will find a spot for this. It's coming along nicely, and it's still like 11:40ish, so we're still good on time. So let's go ahead and put these bins back, and then I'll kind of spruce up here. Okay, yay! Feels so satisfying when everything is organized. So like I said, this is blocks. Oh, yep. And now the next step is labeling it. So I see linking chains in here, the geo boards, science stuff, writing. And this box, I ended up relocating a bunch of like social, emotional, manipulatives, and activities. So yeah, I need to label all of this. Like I said, this box has my letters, which, not this, but I have uppercase in this Dollar Tree bag. Play-Doh, alphabet, fine motor, light table, lacing, and random math manipulatives. Oh look, I have one more thing of this. Look how random stuff. Okay, this can go, look, I have two of these. Wow. Okay. Yeah, some stuff there's just like duplicates of. I'm going to put those manipulatives back. How did they even end up there? Look, this goes in the seasons. Where is the seasons? Come on, man. Okay, I definitely need to label these. Okay, right here. So it didn't take as long as I thought, which is a great thing. But I guess since my partner is here, I'm gonna ask her to help me move the furniture, and that way I can take down all of this and all of this on this side. Just start putting things back in their home. Okay, let's go interrupt her. My furniture is where I wanted for the most part. Like I said, this filing cabinet does not go here. It usually goes over here. It's okay. So now that everything is in its place, I can start pulling things out and just putting everything back in its place, which feels awesome. Okay, so let me show you guys in case you're new here. I mean, this setup looks pretty much the same as last year. And I posted a classroom tour video if you're interested, but we will still just show you. Okay, so this is where I put my tables. So anytime that we do anything that involves writing, whole group, then this is where the kids come, and then we'll probably still have breakfast in the classroom, which I'm not a fan of, but you know, we don't have a choice in that. So the kids eat breakfast, and whenever we do whole group writing, like I said, we're at the tables, but for the most part, we're at the carpet, which this is my main whole group area. I do also use the area over here with the Clever Touch, but I don't like this carpet because the rectangles, the spaces are really small compared to those. So that's my preferred carpet. But like I said, I do some of my whole group here in the mornings. It's really just the morning time. After they finish breakfast, they come to this carpet and we do like our morning songs, and then we switch over here where we do our basically the rest of our literacy block routine, which is Haggerty phonemic awareness. Then we do our morning message, and we do whiteboard writing, and we do our read aloud. Those are kind of like the big components that we do. And then later in the year when we do journal writing, then they go back to their tables, and that's how we finish up our literacy block, but the most important thing, or I don't know if important is a word, but something that's very unique about pre-K classrooms is that you do have to really be strategic about where your furniture is going to go. It's because we function with centers. And so the expectation in our district is for us to have at least 10 centers. That's really creaky. At least 10 centers. So my first center, I call it my sensory exploration center. And whenever I made these labels, I literally copied and pasted them from the Lakeshore website. And I just pasted it on a PowerPoint slide. And that's how I made all of my center pictures. Which I guess I might redo the stem one since, it doesn't really matter. This piece of furniture started off against the wall, but then I moved it here. Anyway, sensory exploration, so light table or the sensory table. It depends which one, but I usually just have one at a time. And then this is a pocket chart that I use for science vocabulary, science integration. The second center I call my STEM center. So I put manipulatives and things related to science primarily over here. And then my third center is dramatic play. So this is all the furniture I have for dramatic play. And I have a lot of my dramatic play materials in here. Basically, all of this is my dramatic play stuff. And center 4, the label is up here, which I guess maybe I could move it over here. But center 4 is at this carpet, and it's the block center. So whatever blocks or manipulatives I have go on this side. And then my word wall, which is essentially a writing center, is here. And I also put writing materials over here. And then something I am going to change is that whenever they finish 5, they go over here for 6. And I don't know. I think it's more brain friendly if I do 6 over here. So they finish 5 and then 6 can be over here, which is the art center. So I am going to rearrange this. So it's going to be 6 and then 7 and 8. And 9 is over here, which is the library. But yeah, so that's the minor change I am going to make, is move number 6. And I have this small piece of furniture where I keep art supplies. So yeah, I'll do 6 over there. And then 7 is, I call it an ABC center. It's just lots of literacy activities. Number 8 is math center, lots of math activities. And then number 9 is over here, which is my library. And number 10 are my iPads. So these centers have worked out for me. And I always pair up 2 students, ideally boy, girl. Last year, I actually had almost the same amount of boys and girls, so that worked out perfectly. The other thing I'll say, this piece of furniture I use during whole group. I put my Elmo there, so if I have to model any type of writing, this is where I do that. And this is where I put all of my teacher things. And I need to move my rolling cart, that's right on top. Move it back over here. But like I said, I think I'm going to pause right now because I for sure need to go grab something for lunch, and I'm going to run an errand at the grocery store, which is really close by. And then I mentioned that at 2 p.m. I have a virtual meeting with my nutritionist. So before I let y'all go, just in case you care about this, I brought my example to show him. But this is an editable meal plan template that I was given, and I liked it. This is kind of where I just like brain dump stuff. So I bet I remade it into something that makes more sense for me. So this is the one that I made. So it has the days of the week at the top and the breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner on the sides there. That just made more sense in my brain than this, which it's inverted. You know, the breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack is at the top, and then the days of the week. Anyway, what I ended up doing here is like brain dumping categories of stuff that I typically cook. So I have a row for like Mexican dishes, and then a row for pasta, ground beef dishes, beef steak dishes. I designated Thursday as a burger day, so at least like that's really easy for dinner. And then on Fridays, I typically try to cook something like vegetarian, no meat, because my husband doesn't eat meat on Fridays. And then for breakfast, I did make a breakfast category, but we've been living off of these phenomenal sandwiches that I make, and I say that very humbly, but we found this bread called Izio sourdough bread, and it's been the best sourdough bread that I've ever tried because it's actually fermented and it only has 3 ingredients, which is really, really healthy for your gut. So we've been buying that bread, and then I make ham, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwiches. They're delicious and they're very filling. So that's been what we've been doing for breakfast for a while. It'll be that or some sort of breakfast taco. But overall, breakfast is just like the easiest meal of the day. But anyway, I'm going to pause because it's almost 1:15. I'm going to go eat some lunch. It might be Chick-fil-A today just because it is on the way. I've been doing really good about not eating like fast food this year. And I noticed that I've actually only been having Chick-fil-A once a month. But this month, once or twice a month. For the most part, it's once. I know I already had Chick-fil-A this month. But like I said, every once in a while. It's totally fine. And yeah, today is gonna be a Chick-fil-A day. And then let me run to the grocery store, and then I'll be back for my nutritionist appointment. Then I'm leaving just right after the meeting ends at 3 because I have to get gas, and then I have to go pick up my child. So day 2 tomorrow. Hey y'all, it is a little bit past 12:30, and I was really debating on coming in today because I just had a really busy morning and I really wanted to nap. But I'm here now. I figured just might as well again do as much as I can yesterday and today so that my room is just as put together as possible so that I can focus on other things like our teacher meet and greet, which that will be already like next Thursday, y'all. Next Thursday from 4 to 6, if I'm remembering correctly. So, I mean, yeah, that's a week from today now that I really think about it. And we are going to have 2 new team members on our team for a total of 4 PK teachers. 3 of us are just like regular. And then we have 1 special education that's like early childhood. So they have pre-K and kindergarten students. But anyway, I'm going to do the bare minimum, which is take down all of the things up there on the counter. And so that will really mean setting up back here in my teacher area. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, so we'll put everything back in its home and then see how I feel when I'm done with that. I brought my lunch with me, so I'll for sure probably in a couple of hours around 2:30, I'll for sure take a break to eat. But okay, day number 2 of classroom setup. Let's go. All right, y'all. I cleaned out this area. Probably wasn't necessary for me to like really wipe everything down, but it was pretty yucky. There was a lot of like dried up milk and I don't know, just lots of stains. It was pretty dirty. No regrets on cleaning it. Probably wasn't necessary, but I feel better about it. And the top cubby parts that I had already wiped down before I headed out for the end of the year. And I rinsed out these tubs because, like I had mentioned, that we have breakfast in the classroom. So these tubs are where they just put our breakfast inside, and they're pretty yucky too. This one just has straws and forks. And I put away our whatever I had left of the gallon bags, a couple of tissue boxes, and some wipes. This is where all of those classroom supplies are going to be at. What I noticed that I haven't seen is I usually have a purple bin that I keep at this table where the kids will put their, what we call their Wednesday folders. So every Wednesday, the kids take home any handouts that we have for the week. And so that's where that lives, but I did not see my purple box. I don't know if I took it home. I don't know. But now all that's left is just like the miscellaneous items that still need a home. So it's not terrible. I mean, I guess I can put this back. This is kind of like my first aid basket. And that stays over there. Just find a place for this puzzle. A random folder. I have magnet blocks and more building blocks, which I don't know. Maybe I'll put those away because the box is up there. Maybe I'll put those away. We have so many Legos. So there's all of that in that bag, which was like a random bag that was in my partner's room. But then I also have this box of the same blocks. Like I didn't even take these out last year because she gave me all her leftover blocks. And what else? And yeah, just stuff that I need to put away. These are extra supplies that I just have never used. And these are just different types of posters that I guess I can take back home. And there's also like anchor chart paper. I think I keep this over there by my closet, so I'll put that away. Find a home for the chalk. My salt trays, this stays in my small group area. And yeah, I still have just random things over here. And this piece of furniture usually goes over there. Again, like anything extra that I have that I don't really use kind of just gets tucked in the corner back there. This is my toolbox, which this I will set up right at the top of my furniture. I do not like having my fridge here, but this filing cabinet is here. So we'll see if I get the chance to ask the custodial staff to move it. I really don't know because I really like that piece of furniture in the corner. That's where that was last year. But y'all, that piece of furniture I had right here, and the kids loved to go through just in and out of it every time we had to transition carpets, and anytime that there was people working at Center 2, they would be messing around with it, and then people at Center 3 also messing around with it. And I had a heart attack one day because one of my boys was clinging onto it and it did fall down. Luckily, it didn't land on him or anybody else, but that was a heart attack. So I really think that's the best place for that. This one I usually keep against the wall over here. I'll either use it to divide the space from the carpet or I'll keep it against the wall. So again, I don't know. I feel like that's the place for that. But I also don't want this filing cabinet. Anyway, I did get my fridge and stuff set up, and I'll just need to wipe it down, and then I cover it up with this. It looks like a blanket, but it's like a tablecloth. I cover it up with the tablecloth. And to me, a fridge and a microwave is a must-have. I never eat in the teacher's lounge. I just think it's so convenient to just have your own stuff. And I specifically got the fridge 3 years ago, because I was still breastfeeding. So I was pumping during my lunchtime and right before I left home after school. So I was pumping twice a day during the school day. And of course, I wanted my breast milk with me. That'd be weird if I put it in like the teacher's fridge. But anyway, that was for sure one of the main reasons. And then I do like to keep different snacks, like yogurt is like always one of my go-to snacks, and cheese sticks. So that's like the only part that's different about the layout. Like I said, I still do need to move this stuff, because what did I say? I said 6, 7, and 8 instead of 6, 7, 8. But I think I'm going to stop right here, y'all, because I am hungry. So I'm going to take my lunch break, and honestly, I think I'm just going to start editing this video so it doesn't take me, too long to do it over the weekend, because hopefully I finish it up over the weekend. That's the goal. If you have any questions about anything that I have set up already, leave me a comment and I will make sure to answer it. And that's really it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.